Episode 10, Navigating the Rise of Venture Debt and Its Impact on HR. Welcome to HR Decoded, the podcast where we uncomplicate the people problems breaking your business. I'm your host, Annekah, fractional COO and People Ops Strategist. And today, we're talking about something that's reshaping the startup funding playbook and quietly changing how you hire, pay, and build your team, the rise of venture debt. Okay, let's talk about what's really happening. In a funding environment where equity rounds are harder, slower, or just not happening, more and more startups are turning to venture debt as a bridge. And on paper, it makes sense. Venture debt offers quick access to capital, less dilution, optionality during uncertain times, but the debt comes with a cost, not just financial, but operational. It changes how you think about hiring, compensation, and people risk, whether you realize it or not. So what does venture debt really mean for startups? When you take on debt, your runway isn't just tied to growth, it's tied to repayment. And suddenly, you need predictable cash flow, you can't afford hiring mistakes, and your team's spend becomes one of your biggest risk factors. So the question becomes, how do you scale the team responsibly without burning capital, creating bloat, or exposing yourself to liability? So let me break it down further how venture debt pressures HR and people strategy. Number one, hiring becomes higher stakes. In equity-heavy growth, you might overhire and correct later. With debt, that flexibility is gone. Every new role must be tied to measurable outcomes, scoped for efficiency, and justifiable to your burn rate and repayment timeline. This means no vanity titles, no bloated middle layers, and no hire now, figure it out later mentality. Number two, comp strategy must prioritize cash discipline. With venture debt, you have limited flexibility on comp structure. Base salaries must be competitive, but cash light. Bonuses need to be tied to real results. Equity is likely diluted or capped, and your total rewards model needs to hold up under budget scrutiny. This is where pay transparency, compensation bands, and performance-linked incentives becomes critical tools, not just nice-to-haves. Number three, contractors and fractional roles gain traction. Debt-funded companies need execution without long-term overhead. This is why we're seeing a rise in fractional executives, embedded recruiters or finance teams, and project-based specialists. It's because these roles offer agility. They give you access to talent without locking in liabilities. And a quick tip, if you're trying to scale lean, build this into your headcount model early and quickly. And lastly, number four, retention becomes a financial risk factor. Replacing a key team member is expensive, but under venture debt, it can be fatal to momentum. This is why onboarding must be fast and structured, feedback loops need to be clear and ongoing, culture alignment matters more than ever, and exit risks should be tracked, not just absorbed. HR can no longer be passive here. It must function like a retention engine. So what can founders and people leaders do? Well, here are 5 tips to stay proactive. Number one, audit your headcount ROI. Ask yourself, can you clearly articulate the business case for every full-time role? Number two, review your comp strategy through a cash flow lens. Where can you incentivize outcomes over output? Number three, use fractional on contract talent to stay lean. Not every strategic role needs to be full-time on day one. Number four, tighten onboarding and retention systems. Remember, debt pressure compounds when turnover increases. And lastly, number five, partner with finance early. HR and finance need to work together on workforce planning, forecasting, and spending controls. So lastly, venture debt isn't inherently good or bad, but it's never neutral. If you're scaling under this model, your people strategy needs to match your financial strategy. Otherwise, you'll find yourself overextended with no room to course correct. If you want help designing a hiring or compensation plan that holds up under lean capital, visit my website at www.hrdecoded.pro to learn more or book a strategy call with me directly. Don't forget to subscribe, review, and leave a comment, and I'll see you next week for another episode of HR Decoded. Bye for now.